so well. So last year, on the west coast in the Northern Cape, I was here. We set up this tent. It was quite bad in the wind. That was actually the reason why I eventually decided to invest in the iKamper. So that's on there. Since then, been here twice with the iKamper, but haven't been back with the front runner. So I'm gonna set it up and let's see how it holds up today. We try to block some of the wind, mostly from that side, but not from the side. So let's see how it holds up this time around. It's a really good tent. I actually like the front runner tent. It's very airy, very spacious. In my opinion, you get a bit more space than the iKamper. And I also like the fact that it's got 2 sky windows. So yeah, I actually like it. It's just unfortunate that it doesn't do so great with high winds. Set it up. We're on the 4th day on the west coast. Yeah, in the Namako National Park. We moved from the National Park section, and we're now at the Waterville side, on the Waterville farm. We're at Skillbank 60. That's the campsite that we're at the moment, and it's quite nice. It's right by the water, right by the sea. I'll show you guys in a bit. You guys prepping up for breakfast and the like. We all woke up quite late this morning because we had a long night last night. Some people went off to bed around 3 o'clock this morning. So it's quite a late night, but it was quite a lot of fun. See, I'm wearing a lot of warm clothes because it's quite windy and cold this morning. The west coast normally tends to be cold and windy, so the sun is coming up, so it's hopefully going to get a bit warmer. But yeah, for now it's a little bit chilly, so most of the guys are wearing jackets and just trying to keep warm. So the front runner is what you would consider a traditional rooftop tent. It's really spacious. And here, as you can see, it's quite spacious. It's a lot of space, and one of the things I like about it, it gives you a true 360 view of your surroundings. So if you take a look at how huge these windows are, for instance, they are ridiculously big. The size of the door, it's about the size of the window, and that's right around it. And it's got these 2 sky windows. This one is currently closed. It opens up just like that. The rainfly is on, so you won't be able to see up into the sky, but at night you take the rainfly off, straight view to the stars and the moon just by lifting your eyes without moving your head or turning around in bed or anything like that. So it's a really lovely tent. It's got 2 pockets on the inside. There's one on this side, and there's one diagonal on the opposite side. So that's really nice. Sorry, it's a bit messy in here. Just woke up not too long ago. The kids slept in here, so yeah. It's a really lovely tent. There are some things that I don't like about it. So the primary reason why I switched from front runner to the iKamper was how quickly it takes to tear down the tent. The front runner tent goes up very quickly, and you see lots of videos and lots of people commenting on how quickly it opens up, but nobody really talks that much about how quickly it closes down, because it doesn't close down. It closes down quickly. It's quite a mission. Last year when I used this tent before I bought the iKamper, it took me about the same amount of time to close down the tent as it took the guys that had got dome tents to close up and pack the tent away. So it takes quite a lot of time. Don't forget that if you're intending to purchase a tent. It shouldn't really prevent you from purchasing the tent, because like I said, it's the only 360 tent that you can find, the only tent that gives you a lightweight tent with 360-degree views. This is the only one that I know of. If you are sort of like in a place like Botswana, for instance, or in Namibia, where you just want to experience the entire environment, you just want to look out for animals walking up and down and the like, this is an ideal tent to do it in. Hey, it's been about a year since I switched from Frontrunner to the iKamper. I'm not really going to do a review of the Frontrunner or the iKamper. I think there's lots of videos out there already. There's quite a few good ones as well. Most of the ones I've seen are quite good. So if you want to know what the specs are, you can just do a quick search and you'll find some of those videos. I just quickly want to run through why I switched and what my experience has been after switching, if it meets my expectations for switching in the first place. So the primary reason why I switched from Frontrunner to the iKamper was because of the amount of time it takes to shut down or close that. I need to close the Frontrunner. So you find lots of videos about how quick it is to set up the Frontrunner tent, which is true, fairly quick to set up, but it takes a little bit longer than you would think to close it after it's been set up, especially when it's on top of a vehicle with upgraded suspension, higher clearance than normal, and the like. So I found for me that with my use case, I generally tend to stay in a place for 1 night, 2 nights at most, and then I move on. So it was quite cumbersome to close it. It was quite a lot of almost acrobatics to get to the top of the roof, climb up on top of the roof, pack it all up in all around, and then zip it around and have it closed properly. The other reason, which was my second biggest reason, was because the Frontrunner is not really great when there's a lot of wind, and when I'm with some of the other guys, we're doing group trips with the kids and the like, we tend to stay in a lot of beach type camp spots, wild camping spots, and majority of the time there's lots of big waves and lots of wind, and the Frontrunner would basically just be shaking. It's not really sturdy in wind, and this is with the rain fly off. So that was my second reason for switching. In the same conditions, the iKamper hardly moves, and I guess there are multiple reasons for that. It's a hard shell tent. The tent material is of a higher quality, and the like. You can get more of those details from watching some of the other videos, but those were my two main reasons for switching from the Frontrunner to the iKamper. Alright, so having switched, would I say that the iKamper has met my expectations for the two main reasons why I switched? Absolutely. The iKamper closes down a lot quicker. It's got straps on the side which can help you close down the tent a lot quicker. Is it as quick as a clamshell tent? No, it's not. Can you leave your bedding in? No. There are some videos that say you can, and I've tried with my bedding. I normally use these fairly thin but very warm blankets, fleece blankets, and I can leave one in, but closing it you can actually feel that it's not happy with just one in. So I tend to not leave anything in. I just take everything out and make up the bed again the next time I need to use it. it's fairly quick to make up the bed, so I don't really mind. Would it be better to leave it in? Absolutely. It would be better if you could leave it in. Some people have said that you should park your stuff towards the back section here. I've tried it. It still feels a bit tight when you're closing the lid, and you can feel that you're pushing down on the lid more than you should. Most times I find that you actually need the locking mechanism to actually help you force the lid down, which I don't like. So yeah, I don't leave anything in it. But other than that, it's a very quick tent to set up, very quick to tear down. In wind, it's perfect. Even in cold temperatures and seasons, it's been great. It's an extremely warm tent. You can feel the tent material is completely of a different level in comparison to some of the other tents that I've used in the past. It's extremely durable, and for me, just from the first night I got into the iKamper, it was like night and day for me. Completely different. You can just feel the premium quality of the tent. So was it worth it buying it? Yes, for me it was worth buying it. Would I be looking at switching to a different tent? I would say no, not at the moment. I would like to have a clamshell, but the reason for that would be it will be even quicker to close and to set up with the clamshell. But the drawback for me with the clamshell is that it's too big. It takes up the entire roof space, and I do need some things on my roof, because I try to not use a trailer. I don't really like carrying a trailer. I would pull a trailer if I'm traveling with the kids, but otherwise no. So yeah, I wouldn't go to a clamshell for my everyday overlanding trips for now. I'm quite happy with the iKamper. I've seen other models, like for instance the ARB. The tent material is not the same. It's definitely of a lower quality than the iKamper. I actually know of someone that actually installed it at a reputable installer in Cape Town, and the following week had to bring it back because the zips and stuff came off for some or other reason. But yeah, I've been in one on the showroom floor at a reputable supplier installer in Cape Town as well, and in comparison it doesn't compare. It's not the same. The iKamper is definitely leaps and bounds above most of the other rooftop tents that I've been in. That said, there are some things that I think, for the price that you pay for an iKamper, they should have just added in. For instance, you come up the ladder into the tent and you don't have a bag for your shoes, you don't have a bag outside to hang anything. Those are extra add-ons that you need to pay for. So far I haven't received mine. Apparently it takes some time to get stock into South Africa. Might be different in other parts of the world, but I think for the price tag that the tent comes with, I think that's something that you could just get, as opposed to having to pay extra for that. What I tend to do in the meantime is I just use an empty plastic bag from like Checkers or Pick and Pay, and I put my shoes in there and I keep that inside the tent, so that overnight it doesn't get wet from the dew, and that seems to work fine, and until such time that I get my actual shoe bags. Yeah, what else other than that? So something else that I have added in is a light. So the tent does not come with any type of lighting, so you would have to install your own light. which again, I think for the price that you're paying, I think they could have given you a light. I think that's become a standard with most other tents. So I think they could have just given a light. What it does have though is a tubing, a grommet rather, underneath the tent. It's weather sealed, which you can then pull wiring through and then do your own wiring, which is what I've done. But I feel that given some of the other tents on the market, like Easy On for instance, it comes pre-wired for you. You just plug in underneath the tent outside to whatever power source you need and you're good to go. So I feel that for the price, those are things that you probably should just get as part of the tent. But other than that, I guess for the main function of the tent being a comfortable place to sleep after a trip or on a tour or whatever the case is, it definitely serves that purpose 100%, and I'm fairly happy with it. I would have been a bit happier though if like there was a light and there was a shoe bag and that type of stuff, but other than that, I'm fairly happy with the tent. And yeah, I would say if you within the budget to buy it, then you should go for it. If you within the budget of buying a similar tent, hard shell tent now, not comparing the other tents, so not the traditional, not the clamshell, but an actual hard shell tent, and you're unsure, I would say if you're prepared to spend that much money, then you should really consider getting something like, or getting the iKamper